Hello, people of dreadlock. It's been 10 months now since I started locking my hair, and since then, this is what I've discovered or what I've noticed on my locks. One, the two most important things for locks, or for my locks, is the biology and the environment. Environment being anything that interacts with my hair, and my biology pretty much the type of hair and if I can grow my hair. So those two things are kind of key. Kind of noticed that for the most part I could separate it into two categories when it comes to dreads or having locks. Locks or preventing locks. And seeing how if you just don't do anything, you get locks, I kind of took it as pretty much anything you do other than that is kind of preventing it, if that makes sense. So cutting your hair or brushing your hair, combing your hair, all those things essentially prevent locks or prevents your hair from locking. So if you look at it that way, I really don't know what I'm trying to say. But if you do, that's kind of what I'm getting at. Anywho, so biology, environment, where the two meet, that's kind of where locks start happening all on their own. So once the environment becomes locked up on the outside and the new growth has nowhere to go, it kind of like they just meet and it just kind of starts locking. The strength of the lock comes from those two being fairly balanced, aka having strands of hair attached to the scalp, still growing, which helps with actually locking the hair as opposed to just hair being matted. So if you have a lot of broken strands, those become part of the environmental effect only, whereas if you have strands that are connected to the scalp and still dreading throughout, they are participating both environmentally and biologically. So the difference between matting and locking is that because it's still growing, it's pretty much where like biology and the environment meet, which the environment locks it up, but it can only do that to a certain degree. But because the way hair grows, it's got a constant force interacting with that environment, which creates beyond matting locks. So that's kind of what I discovered with mine. That's kind of why I stopped using the crochet hook altogether, because of that. Essentially every broken strand becomes part of it, like the hair that naturally falls off, but it's not at its full potential of strength, if that makes sense. So that's pretty much what I got. On top of that, I got a lot of loose hair, which makes it really tempting to use the crochet hook right now, especially since it's long enough to actually be pulled in. I'm just not that comfortable with the crochet hook myself. So and according to my discoveries, theoretically, I cannot find a proper justification for using a tool because it's impossible for that hair to remain unlocked forever. So the only course that it could take its to lock. So besides the potential for that hair to aid in the creation of congos, which I kind of don't want anymore. I think I had like one or two that actually won at the beginning when I first started them. Anyway, other than that, I don't see why I should use a crochet hook other than for the vanity of it, of having them cleaned up, because on the long run they should lock up. These are my newest ones, and a week, maybe 2, I don't know. Anyways, as you can see, nice and tight all the way down there. I got pretty good at the twisting grip and back combing. I could get them amazingly well, I think. Anyways, and then this one used to be amazing too, except I got in the habit of doing this, and since this wasn't locked, it was easy for my thumb to just go through that part. So I've done it a couple times where I just ran my thumb right in between the lock, and it's, yeah, as you can see, it totally wrecked its anything. Anywho, these would start locking all on their own as part of those that would go back there. That's kind of why I started locking these. So just kind of did that one, and I noticed I had a similar situation over here, so I just helped it out a little bit more. I think these might be staying fairly alright. I think they've been there for like a week now. And that's it. So thank you for watching, people of Dreadlock. Questions, comments, concerns, beliefs, moans, and groans, you can leave them in the comment section. I'd like to get some questions, your opinion. Hit me up.